What's up everyone, I'm Duncan Knee-Deep from Team We Disney, just here to remind you that you can still pick up an MBL t-shirt in the link in the description down below to support the teams of the MBL. It's a fantastic shirt and you should definitely check it out.
What's going on, guys? This is Witz here, back for week 8 of the power rankings of the MBL. I'm back, guys. Sorry it took so long. I had to move.
Oh, you weren't missed.
Well, as you guys can hear, I'm not here with Tailwind this week. I'm here with Harvey.
Hello. You heard me yesterday. I'm back.
I do want to give a little bit of a disclaimer. A lot of the ones on my side, you'll see like the numbers might be a little bit skewed. So like the ones from last week, those were Cabu's rankings. The ones from the week before, those were Ben's. So like the ones that are on here for me are prevalent to my week 6 power rankings. All right, and with that, let's pop right in.
Yep, let's go straight in to number 12 on our list. And no surprises here, both of us is Team Mythical.
Yeah, Team Mythical had a hard time this week.
They're just not playing like the team that we want them to be. It's not really expectation, it's more we just really want them to win more games. Please, we just want it to happen.
Team Mythical this week, they had an even matchup against Leaky. It's just, they kind of just got overpowered and outplayed, and things just went south and it quickly became 4-0. That's really all I can say about Mythical this week. Kind of had a rough season.
Yeah, that's basically all I had to say. Took the words straight out of my mouth. Once again, Team Mythical collapsing to another defeat. It's unfortunate to see them in this kind of position, but we do hope they improve towards the back end of the season with just these few games to go, trying to get a couple extra wins under their belt.
All right, so with that, we'll move on to 11, where we both have Team Juice. It was kind of, as Chimpax put it, it was a hashtag free Kenny. So it was a 2v1.
Hashtag free Kenny. Jamie Keane doing well in locking him up for the week.
Without having that second person there, I think it also kind of hindered Chimpact a little bit more because he had the focus not only on how he was going to play, but how 2 other people were going to play, as opposed to potentially hearing some outside help and outside thoughts from somebody else. Maybe Kenny would have thought of something that Chimpact didn't.
I can agree with that, and I do have to be impressed with Chimpact's thinking throughout this match. Despite it being a 2v1, he was very impressive just by himself. He was still in it up until the rock slide miss Blastoise. After the rock slide miss, that sealed the game for Team Jamie. They were able to wrap it up. It was very impressive, but at the same time, Team Jamie again pulling out another dominant victory, I have to say. I'm just a little bit disappointed. I had some high expectations for Team Juice this year on the second season, trying to retain their #1 spot from the previous season in the regular season. It's been a little bit disappointing seeing them fall so hard.
Yeah, I feel like one other thing as well, like Chimpact said, his friend who had the copy of the game hadn't beaten the game yet, so he wasn't able to have the ground DMZ.
Yes, that was important. He didn't have ground DMZ, which would have been very helpful in that match. It was unfortunate circumstances for Team Juice, which unfortunately means that they can no longer make top 6. With that, shall we move on to number 10?
All right.
Team Subs. I put them in number 10 because particularly that last week where they were pretty much battered by Team Cyberbaz, and I feel like they don't deserve to be in those higher spots. You know, their week 7 match against Team Flawless, where they picked up a 3-0 win. They were playing rather impressively when they gained the confidence back, but against Team Cyberbaz, they were nervous. They didn't have too much of a game plan going into it, and it showed as they were just swept 6-0.
Yeah, with that, let's go on to number 9 with Blue Hunnets.
I would say impressive in defeat. That's why I've given them number 9. Despite losing to Team Drinking Birds, they played an extremely good game against them. They took them right down to the wire. Could have even won it if Drinking Birds hadn't been... I want to say Drinking Birds were a little bit careless, but Blue Hunters have been playing fantastically these last few weeks. Even in defeat, they've been playing really well.
It's kind of funny, I think Blue Hunnets might have had the game if Drinking Birds didn't attack themselves. Hitting
Venusaur with the Pheromosa to ensure it was knocked out. It was a very, very close match. As we said, it was only a 1-0 win to Drinking Birds, and Blue Hunnets took them right down to the wire.
Out of the battle, though, unfortunately, that wasn't really posted, so we weren't able to, but without the video, we weren't able to fully rank them.
I'd say number 9 is a very fair ranking for them. It's not like they've been playing badly, which they haven't. They've been playing very well, to the best of their ability all season long. In some cases, it's just them being outplayed by the other team, which have most of the time been very, very good players. But the games they have won, they've won because they've played outstandingly. And I think they deserve more credit than they've gotten in these power rankings.
Agreed. I think we said what we needed to say. I think we can move on to the last of this group of 5, where Harvey and I surprisingly have the same...
Maybe the same thought process for Flawless at number 8. Why don't you start off with this, Witz?
Well, with Flawless, they've kind of taken a dip, at least in my book. They've been playing pretty well, but the forfeit doesn't help. I feel like they deserve to be higher up, but the competition that they've played in the past couple of weeks hasn't really let them do that. I'm hoping that they can bounce back and win out some potentially top cut. I really want to see what these guys can do.
Flawless, I feel, while they started off very, very well, they have taken that dip in form. The forfeit really doesn't help their case at all. I didn't take the forfeit into account. It was a really unfortunate circumstance. But in the weeks before, they really just haven't been playing good enough. They were a team that were tipped to make a surprise entry in the playoffs, and possibly at number 6, even number 5. But with recent performances throughout the last few weeks, I don't see that happening anymore. I really don't see that happening. I think number 8 is a very fitting place for them right now, based off their current form. If I do see them improve in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure that they would go higher up the power rankings. I'm sure whoever comes back to do the power rankings, be it Toby or someone else, would put them higher, but I see them at number 8.
So with that, we can pop over to our next quartet. We have 4, 5, 6, 7. This is where we have a little bit of discrepancies. We have the same 4 in this area, however, they're just in different spots. For 7, I have Leaky and you have We Disney.
They quite simply have not been playing like a top cut team. Yes, they started 4-0, but they've lost games that they really should have won. It's as simple as that. They should have beaten Not Skull, and they didn't. They should have beaten Leaky. They didn't. They should have beaten Blue Hunnet, but they didn't. Ball, they just got steamrolled. They haven't been playing as well as they have been. I've seen a lot, and the fans are going to jump on me for this. I know they are, but it has to be said. They are not playing like the top cut team that we thought they were going to be after weeks 3 and 4 when they were 4-0. Having dropped to 4-4, that form has dipped horrendously, and if they don't improve, I don't see them getting any higher in these power rankings.
I have them at 6 mainly because of how they started out, and then the way that they've dipped so dramatically. I couldn't put them higher than 6, but I also feel like with the way other teams have played, I couldn't put them below 6. Leaky has been consistent, gotten close with the teams that I feel like they should have beaten. We've gotten close with the teams that we feel like, okay, you're giving them a run for their money, but there isn't a definitive, usually should have beaten this team, why didn't they? Whereas Disney, it has gone to that point, but because of Disney's such strong start and the way that they have and the way they've dropped so dramatically, yeah, Leaky's been improving a little bit, but I think I still need to see a little bit more from Leaky before I can put them ahead.
That's why I would beg to differ, actually, because I think Leaky have been playing a lot better than they've been getting credit for. Yes, they did lose to Team Drinking Birds in week 7, but before that, they have been playing some very impressive matches. As Appa mentioned, they beat We Disney, they've beaten Cyberbaz in week 4. All the games they've played, they've been playing very well, and I think they deserve a lot of credit for it. Having pulled back an unfavorable start, playing very consistently. Yes, they've brought some of the same mons a lot, but they've managed to change it up enough. They've made themselves quite unpredictable, I think, in some weeks. I like the way that Leaky are playing. If I were to put money on who would make top 6, my money would be on Team Leaky at the moment. They have been playing just that little bit better than We Disney right now. As I say, I'm basing it off of kind of recent form, and if you want to base it down to that, I think Leaky have been better than We Disney.
I think that's where we differ a little bit, but I think we'll see who turns out right as the weeks go by. So with that, I think we can move on to 4 and 5. Yeah, we alternated Not Scald and Dream Ball. We had a kind of interesting week this week where we were able to see 2 matches from Dream Ball and anything from Not Scald. So I think the way this dynamic was working, Dream Ball had the 6-0 against We Disney, but then we also saw how they played against Cyberbaz.
We didn't actually, because they didn't upload their side of the battle. Oh. Technical issues on Wolfie's side.
Yeah.
Again, not favourable, but there's nothing much we can do in that situation.
With the way they were playing against Cyberbaz, I think they were taking too many risks, and they weren't just going for the straightforward play. They were thinking too in-depthly, and Cyberbaz was able to capitalize on certain things. They let the Azuma roll just stay alive, and yeah, the Azuma roll kept hitting everything, even at -1.
I can see where you're going with this, and yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, here, why don't you elaborate on that?
They allowing the Azuma roll to stay on the field, even though it was at -1, it was still able to do good, sizable damage to the likes of Tapu Fini, who was really needed as part of their defense. Now, I want to go into a little bit of why I've put Dream Ball at number 4. I put them there because, again, this is off of recent form. They've been playing some fantastic matches. Yes, they did lose to Cyberbaz, which is probably the reason I haven't put them in the top 3. I don't think they deserve to be in the top 3 right now, because in the games they've lost, it's been because taking too many risks or because they just haven't been playing well enough. And I do admit they weren't playing badly this week. The double HP ground was very good prep on Cyberbaz's part to take out their Heatran, and they used Tangela quite well this week. It just wasn't good enough. Cyberbaz were very much able to play around them. I think it came down to prep more than anything.
All right, so why don't you talk about Not Scald and why you have them at 5?
Not schooled at number 5. Again, doesn't help this week that they did pick up a forfeit win this week. I can't say they haven't been playing well, because that's a lie. They have. Beating Mythical 6-0 using a Comfort and an Arcanine was very, very fun and very impressive to see from them. However, I have them at number 5 because some of their wins, I don't know, just feel, some wins feel a little bit cheap. And as you see, some of them have picked up quite a few hacks, especially early game. They did pick up a few hacks that allowed them to win some of their games. They were 3-0 because of it eventually going down. They lost to Drinking Birds in a very close match where Linoon was able to punch through their team. I think they prepped for it, but they just didn't prep well enough for the shenanigans that were caused by the Blastoise and the Landorus as well. They were able to cause some big problems while Linoon just kept punching through their team. The games where they just haven't prepped well enough, they haven't been able to win as well as they should, I think. I think a lot of people will flame me for having them at number 5 because they have been playing well, but I don't see them as having played as well as the 4 teams above them. I think that's what I'm trying to get at here.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I had them higher up because at this point, I'm looking at their record as well as how they got there. Because I think with the way that they've played, yeah, they've used hacks, but they've also won on some pretty extreme circumstances, like you said, with the Comfort sweep. Yeah, they got the forfeit win this week, but their prep is becoming more and more ingenious, and because of that, they're able to then be able to focus down and settle into the match as opposed to panicking when something goes wrong. They're able to sit back, figure out the situation, and jump back in. Because of that, I feel like that they deserve that number 4 spot.
I would agree on that. They're used to playing in these kind of situations, just taking a bit of time to think about their plays. They're very much used to doing that, and I can see if they get an impressive win against Team Subs this week and they can continue to build on that and secure their place in the top 6, then I'm sure they will move higher next week. As I mentioned, I couldn't put them above the 4 teams above them, and I think with that we can go into our top 3.
And so the top 3 we have are the same. We have Cyberbaz, Jamie, and Drinking Birds in that order from 3 to 1. Cyberbaz, again, we had a pretty interesting week with them this week. We had a double show from them.
And a double show it was. Oh, I was very impressed by Team Cyberbaz. In just in these past few weeks, they've been playing some outstanding matches.
I agree.
Why don't you start us off? Why do you have Cyberbaz at number 3?
I want to put them higher so badly, but Jamie has been playing really well. Drinking Birds has been playing insanely well. And Cyberbaz this week shows that they can be in the top 3. Between the 6-0 against Subs and between the 3-0 against Streamball, they've really shown not only a growth from the previous weeks, they've shown why that they were runner-ups from last season. Coming back, bringing great sets with double HP grounds. Yeah, their Z moves got a little bit wasted against Dream Ball, but they really know how to play. I mean, hell, they're world's competitors for a reason, and they need to be in the top 3.
Yep, I completely agree. I think it definitely helps that they are used to playing with the mons that they have. As we know, last year they also had Raichu, they had Azumarill, they had Volcarona, and they know how to use those mons to their fullest extent. And I think that really helps them in how they play. And I completely agree, they've been playing some really good matches. Again, against Subs, they played a really good game. Again, with Raichu, they're utilizing it very well. Nidoqueen as well. Nidoqueen's been a bit of a dark horse for their team. A lot of people don't give it the credit it's due. Against Dream Ball, again, they prepped fantastically for them, and that match really came down to prep and how it was executed. Yes, the Z moves didn't go off. The Gigabot Havoc into Tangler and the Z Icy Wind going into Tapu Fini and doing naught. But still, they played a really good game and have deserved every single one of their wins. Even against Blue Hunters. Blue Hunters had the much better luck against them, but they were able to turn that game around and win that, which just shows their quality and how well they can play even when the odds are stacked against them.
They don't let hacks or they don't let anger get to them. They were able to just stay calm, cool, and collected and bounce back to get that win against Blue Hunters.
I would have put them higher if it weren't for the fact that Team Jamie have been playing amazingly, and they continue to play amazingly. And I think that's a good cue to jump into number 2. Both of us having Team Jamie.
Yeah, they've shown that it's not, they don't need 3 people to have the 3-headed monster. They can have the Doduo and be fine.
Doduo is just as powerful. They played a fantastic game this week, and it was very nice to see Mr. Mime pick up its first kill. Just take a minute to appreciate that Mr. Mime got a kill with Twinkle Tackle, and the animation's brilliant.
This is going to be a really bad pun, but I'm going to say it anyway. They kept putting that acupressure on Shimpack this week.
Oh, that was awful. Oh God.
Hey, I warned you in advance.
Yes, but you make Kabu cringe with that, and he's terrible. We're leaving that in. But we're getting off track. If this was a power rankings on jokes, Jamie would be at the bottom. just saying. But no, this is the power ranking based on how they're playing, and I cannot put Team Jamie any lower than number 2, which reflects their current standing right now. They have been playing fantastically. They know when to play offensive and defensive. They played very offensively in the opening stages this week, as we saw by their turn 1. Porygon Z with the Hyper Beam knocking out Tornadus T. Yes, they were immediately then knocked out by Superpower, but as I mentioned, Twinkle Tackle, Mr. Mime, putting in the work and knocking out Chestnut this week.
Jamie was worried that the analysts gave away what they wanted to do.
No. Even without it, having Mr. Mime and Blastoise out was still enough to put in the work against Team Juice, which is a very odd combination to have out on the field at once, Mr. Mime and Mega Blastoise. But they still made it work, and they were able to chip down and really hinder Team Juice, especially with Encore on Mr. Mime. That was a very good bring by them.
Yep.
They've just been playing some extremely good matches. They 5-0'd Team Dream Ball.
They 5-0'd Not Scald.
Yes, they 5-0'd Not Scored. They 5-0'd Dream Ball. All their wins have been very impressive victories. Their lowest margin of victory has been 4-0. So every single win they've had, they've won 4-0, at least. It's just a testament to show how dominant that Team Jamie can be in matches.
That's very impressive. Pretty much, you do not want to get on the back foot against Team Jamie.
They're very good at applying pressure when they're ahead, especially from Jamie Boy, and they have been doing that very well in all of their matches. Even in matches that they've lost, they've known when to apply pressure, when to step back a little bit, and it's really paid off for them. Currently being in the top 2, and a win this week, funnily enough, against Team Cyberbaz, will see them qualify for the top 6.
I'm looking forward to that matchup this week.
I am as well. I cannot wait.
So with those 2 wrapped up, I think we can move on to our number 1 spot in Team Drinking Birds.
Team Drinking Birds, again, showing us that they are the team to beat this season. At first, everyone was thinking, yeah, but 3rd, maybe 4th place. But nope, they've just kept winning and kept winning and kept winning and kept winning.
And they've done what it takes to win. Because even at the cost of some differential points, they've done what it takes to win. And that's why they're 7-1 right now.
It's not the best differential in the world, but they're at 7-1. This is what's important. They're currently in prime position to take one of those top 2 spots and qualify for the semi-finals, because they've been playing that well across the season that I believe they can make the finals quite easily.
I want to see that Oricorio come out.
Yes, Oricorio and Heliolisk.
Yeah, they might be bringing the same mons, but hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So
exactly. I mean, they've wanted to bring Heliolisks, but they just haven't found the opportunity to do so. Even with the base set of mons that they do bring in Landorus T, Pheromosa, we see Mega Venusaur a lot, Darmanitan and Blastoise have come every single game. Just mixing it up a little bit, they keep themselves unpredictable. They keep themselves, yes, you know what they're bringing, but you don't know how they're going to play it. And I think that's going to take them all the way to the finals this season.
They've been using Team Preview very, very well on how they've been separating their mons. The minute, like, oh, the Lanoons over there, they have Follow Me on the other side. Okay, that's one thing that we have to look at. Oh, they have Pheromosa over there with Ninetales over here. Oh, okay, Darmanitan's on that side. Okay, Ninetales is over there. Team Preview is such an important part of multi-battles because it brings doubt, it brings fear, and sometimes it brings calmness and serenity. Nobody has felt that that serene moment when looking at Team Drinking Birds' preview, I feel.
I can 100% get behind what you're saying. I can understand that completely. I don't think anyone's been as confident in Team Preview as Team Drinking Birds, except for maybe Team Jamie, I would say. And we have them at 1 and 2 for a reason, and they have been very impressive when it comes to preparing their teams and at Team Preview. They've been the 2 teams that have been the most calm. They know what they're doing and they have their plan before they even get into Team Preview. I just couldn't put anyone above Team Drinking Birds this week.
100% in agreement. With that, we are wrapping up here this week of the power rankings. If you guys want to see Harvey back, let us know. I think Talon will be back soon, but Harvey can stay where he is. It was great having him this week.
I have enough going for myself. I'm pretty sure they don't want to hear more of my voice. They'd rather hear someone else's.
No, we kid. Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it.
It's no problem.
And guys, we'll see you guys next week.
Yep, we hope to see you again very soon. Have a good evening. Bye.